How to be so good at supply and demand that you can literally do it in your sleep. I was going around YouTube and I noticed that there aren't any simple videos that teach you how to draw and trade supply and demand, which is ridiculous because it's such an easy concept, yet it's so important to master. And this is the framework I use to draw on supply and demand, right? At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how I trade them and give you an example. But first, let's start off with the framework. Let's get right to it. We're going to be using this chart of SPY to find our levels, right? First, let's talk about a demand zone. What you need to do to learn how to draw supply and demand zones is one, know what a candle body and wick are. I'll put that on the screen right now. Two is you need to find a neutral candle, again on the screen right now. And three is you got to know how to trade them, right? Which I'm going to show you at the end of the video. Let's look at SPY here, for example, where I have this arrow drawn. See, we have a neutral candle. You have to find a neutral candle, which is a candle that's neither showing you buying or selling pressure. It has to open and close at the same location. With that candle, we have to go ahead and click the rectangle or the box drawing tool, right? And let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. We have a neutral candle right here before an aggressive move down. So this is for a demand zone. Demand zone, you have to find a neutral candle that has to be green, right? It can't be red before a big move down or aggressive move down right here. To draw the demand zone, we're going to draw the bottom of the box at the bottom body, again, of the candle, and then the top of the box at the top wick of the candle right here. So that is a demand zone. Pretty simple, right? For a supply zone, I have an example down here. Same thing, but just reverse, right? Where you're going to find a neutral candle that opened and closed around the same area before an aggressive move up for a supply zone. What we're going to do is click the box, and then just the opposite, right? The top of the box is the top of the body of that neutral candle, and the bottom is at the bottom wick of that neutral candle. And this is your supply zone. Again, very, very simple, right? Let me show you a quick example of how I would trade this. Let's use this demand zone up here as an example. So let's go ahead and draw our zone, right? Zoom in a little bit here. We have the bottom of that neutral candle and then the top of the wick. Let's just go ahead and extend this. Perfect. All right. So now we have these zones. These are my key areas, my entry areas, my exit areas, right? Are these zones. Again, the market moves basically just on simple supply and demand. If there's demand, there's excess selling. If there's supply, there's excess buying. Knowing that, we could trade off these zones, right? As we approach a zone, my entry would be at the top of the zone. My exit would be at the top of the zone. And then my take profits will, for me to decide where I'm going to take profit, is I have to see exactly where the next level of resistance is, or support. Looking here, where's our next area of resistance, right, or support? So we hit the zone, we start going down. Where's our next support resistance? So for me, it would be right around this area right here, right? Because right here we see, you can go back here, we have one touch. We have wicked it twice, to touch right here, right? So this is an area where price likes to reject or break through. So I would take my profits out right here. Then my stop loss is all the way up here. So again, the risk reward ratio is really, really good using these zones, and they're very simple to draw, very simple to understand, very simple to trade. Don't just trade strictly based off these zones. For example, if you take a look at this is approaching the zone, let's look at the volume down here, right? It's showing us mostly red volume, and that's a signal that it's going to reverse. And it did, right? So use this, combine it with maybe order flow. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for my next one.